And then there was the next Repticon show I went to in May. Got to see some awesome animals, some scaleless coin snakes. Always love seeing scaleless snakes.
This is a blue-green iguana. This is a polygenic trait, years and years of breeding for the bluest animal. If you guys are looking for iguanas, the guy to reach out is Tom Crutchfield in Florida. As you know, we had a break-in recently, and I think some of his iguanas got killed and stolen, which sucks. And don't forget, Ken Andrews lost some, well, one of his animals which got returned, thankfully. But now you might know why. The other reason I'm showing you off this iguana is because, you know, people. Yeah, these are great animals, but they're not for everyone. I want you to have you need to be an advanced keeper. You need to have a big enclosure. But of course, right now we are fighting the Florida ban. These animals should be rather institute a permit system in Florida as opposed to outlawing these animals, because they are just so incredible. Look how the blue in this monkey. Let's hope. Now these have finally made their way over to South Africa too, and they've also now just banned these because, well, these won't be a problem in South Africa because not enough trees and just not dry, not humid enough. But these are incredible animals. But before you buy one, research, and reach out to people, especially Tom Crutchfield. If you want a really cool animals like an albino, but they're expensive. But this is a beautiful animal. Let's see what else we can see here at this expo. Of course, I can't come to an expo without showing off a ball python. This is a Orange Dream Enchi Asphalt Banana Spider. This is a Orange Dream Enchi 5-gene snake, just the right amount in my opinion. The spider is a dominant trait. Orange Dream is co-dominant. Asphalt is co-dominant. And Orange Enchi is also co-dominant as well as banana. But when you breed a super banana, I really don't see that much of a difference. These are just the right amount of, you add something like lesser or fire to this animal, this thing is going to pop even more. But look at how beautiful the snake, it doesn't even wobble like a normal spider. But I'm just so angry that some people just want to bash the spider gene and say, oh, it's horrible, it wobbles too much. As you can see with this little monkey, he's healthy. Look at him, he's curious. I mean, he's just lazy right now because this is what ball pythons do when they're this size. But the truth is, spider genes are healthy as anything. Just look at, I just love the pattern on the spider. Let's see the snake here. Just look at the beautiful, and the white here is just.
Enchi really cleans it up too.
It does too, and Enchi is also a great gene. You add another super Enchi to this, I think it's going to make it more beautiful. Because have a look what else we can, out of the ball pythons we can see here at the expo.
Pretty snake.
It is. Have a look at this beautiful Spinner Blast Cloud ball python. Spinner is a Spinner Blast pastel spider pinstripe. Now this is the Cloud, which is like a citrus pastel. But just look at the head, it just pops. I think you add fire or something like lesser to this gene, this thing's gonna pop even more. The Spinner was produced by BHB and Brian Barczyk, which is like which are these patterns here, Then you've got Pastel, which is a brightening gene, and I have a look at the belly. This thing is incredible. I love Pastel. It's produced by Greg Graziani from the hit show Python Hunters. I don't know if you guys ever watched that show, but I love. But Pastel, in my opinion, is the most enhancing gene. Or one of the most enhancing genes. I don't know if it's the most enhancing, but it's one. But I think it's awesome. This animal just pops here. Just look at a beautiful belly here. This is one beautiful monkey. So these are some of her babies. These are the father was bred to a dot. So this is when you add the dot gene, which is another dominant trait.
Like I've had preference, but now I'm like starting to like get into the other new Caledonian.
Okay, I don't know if you guys heard that. The father was a pastel mystic dot. These guys are really beautiful snakes. I just love. I love pinstripe. I love spider. But these snakes are just so pretty. This one's about to go into shed, so you don't see that well.
Yeah.
So this is the citrus pastel. But these snakes are just mind-blowing. I mean, I think I'm falling in love with the Cloud gene. I think I gotta get a few myself when I launch EAB in the future, or EAB when I get some more. But these snakes are just incredible. You can see this one's a bit of a feisty monkey, but I just love these snakes here.
Turn this over to my friend so you can try it. I want to make Bengal pies.
So this is the Bengal gene. This thing is phenomenal. Super Bengal.
Super Enchi.
So with a super Enchi. This is 4 genes, a super double co-dominant trait, double super co-dominant. This thing looks incredible. I mean, this thing looks. If you come across something like this in the wild, you might think it's like kind of reminds me a little bit of a gaboon viper a little bit, but it kind of looks like the viper gene that Brian Barczyk used to have that unfortunately wasn't proven out to be genetic. I think this is just a beautiful snake. I just love. When this thing gets bred to the pied, it's gonna look fantastic, amazing. I just love. I mean, ball pythons are just the polymorphism among ball pythons is really sets them apart from other snakes. Let's see what else. Beautiful monkey.
The dot puts the dots like as you see in the pattern.
Yep, I see the dots. This is the mystic. This is the mystic dots with possible fire. Now the fire gene is linked to the black-eyed leucistic snake. So is the now the dot is just a regular gene, and now
It's a gene from the UK.
yeah, this is from the originated in the UK from I don't know who produced it, but this is a beautiful dot. Is a really nice, a really cool pattern gene. I love. I think I'm falling in love with dot now. I think I'm going to try to get myself some dots. When I go back home, I got to look at find some dot ball python 3AB. This is one beautiful pattern. Look at this. I mean, this pattern here is like kind of reminds me a little bit of like a striped Angolan that my friend in South Africa has. But I think it's a beautiful. But I think that pattern looks so cool. Thanks.
Puppy pin ghost.
So this is a hypo Mojave pin. You said. Now Phantom is a co-dominant trait. You got a super Phantom, which is incredible. You got the ghost or hypo gene is a recessive trait. When you read to normal, you get all normal babies. Now this is what's the other gene you said?
It's Phantom Ghost.
Oh, Phantom Ghost, just 2 genes.
Yeah.
Oh, one recessive gene.
Mojave. I mean, no. Phantom Mojave.
Oh, Phantom Mojave. This is also a ghost purple passion.
Right.
Now, this is an allelic animal. Oftentimes, when you read something like a bumblebee to a normal, you get 25% normals, 25% pastels, 25% bumblebees, and 25% spiders. But this, when you breed a purple passion to a normal, you get 50% Mojave and 50% Phantom. Super Phantom is one of my favorite homozygous snakes. Any codominant trait, if not my favorite, because I love everything, but this is one beautiful. I just love Phantom. I really like Phantom.
And then there was the next Repticon show I went to in May. Kind of went to see some awesome animals, some scaleless coin snakes. Always love seeing scaleless snakes.
Okay, here we go. Also not a reptile. These are so damn cute. These are African pygmy hedgehogs. You guys are from
Both New York.
That's why
I don't know if you guys heard that, but these guys are originally from, I think, Nigeria, those areas. These guys are just so cute. They use their quills as a way of as a defense mechanism from predators in the wild. But these really are. In some places, these are illegal, which I think is both. Which is not true. Which is ridiculous. These are just so damn cute. I'm gonna if you guys want a hedgehog, it's a bit of a big responsibility. You do need to be bathed a lot, but honestly, it's a really rewarding experience. Just look at how damn cute he is. This is a Ambelomi panther chameleon. These guys are from Madagascar. These are chameleons really don't like to be handled that much, to be honest. They're really good display animals, but one thing I like about chameleons is their tongue. They would shoot their tongues out strong, and their tongues are really sticky, so they would stick to like insects, flies. I don't know if you guys can feed these guys house flies, but probably not the best idea. But you can feed them like crickets, mostly crickets, I'd say. But these guys are for more advanced, accomplished keepers who have a lot of experience before you jump into chameleons. It's not necessarily true. These guys won't blend into their surroundings. They just change color depending on their mood, as well as if they could try and absorb more heat or to cool down. But I love panther chameleons. They are awesome animals. One of my favorite ball python genes is the GHI. This is a co-dominant mutation, meaning it kind of darkens. The super version is more dark than this one. But I think Matt, I don't know what his last name is, produced the first ones. I don't know where he is, but this is a beautiful, beautiful space morph for ball pythons. Let's see what other ball pythons we can see here at Repticon. I love GHIs. This is the lavender albino super cinnamon. So I remember when I was at DJ's at Reptiles of Adventures in South Africa, I thought that if you bred a lavender albino to a super cinnamon producing a lavender, it would be a purple ball python to help Brian Barczyk end his quest for the Barney ball. This is the lavender albino super cinnamon. This kind of looks like. I think it's kind of cool to see a super cinnamon, because since a lot of times super cinnamons would have a deform, like a kink in their spine, oftentimes. But every time I get blown away. You guys may have remembered I saw a regular albino super cinnamon the last Repticon, which is all white, but this is the lavender. You can see a little bit more of a pattern here, a little bit more purple. But I tell you, every time I see these lavender albinos, and any super cinnamon for that matter, just blows me away to see that they're thriving. And just look at the pattern on this monkey here. And let's just say, seeing them pretty tame too, because a lot of super cinnamons are nippy. But this is a beautiful snake. This is the Super Chocolate Enchi Fire and it's possible, we don't know for sure if it's orange dream, but it could be orange dream. We won't know until we breed it up, but I tell you, super chocolate and enchi mix a really dark color, and when you add fire to this, it's even cooler. You put lesser in, or something like lesser, or bamboo into this is gonna pop, make you want toward the snake.
We're thinking by the time that this boy is ready, hopefully we'll have some DG stuff that we can start incorporating some DG into.
Desert Ghost stuff, by the way, which is a recessive trait, but the orange, but these are super chocolate is when you breed two chocolates together. Fire is a co-dominant trait. Orange Dream is also co-dominant, as well as enchi. When you breed it, the Orange Dream was produced right here in Maryland by Aussie Boyds, which I think, which is a really orange animal. When you get a super Orange Dream, it is incredible. But I tell you, this is one beautiful snake, and it's even cooler.
We'll leave. It's gonna be your difference. These are gonna be the same combo. Just this darker one has the super chocolate, and then this one is the super Orange Dream version.
Super Orange Dream, chocolate, enchi, fire. There's about a $4,000 snake here. This is the Super Orange Dream. Super Orange Dream always, I think it's one of the most enhancing genes in the ball python industry. Along with the, well, of course, pastel is just as good, but fire, believe it or not, the fire gene is actually linked to the black-eyed leucistic. You would occasionally have a bit of patterning, but sometimes it's all white with black eyes. Then you get stuff like bamboo would be blue-eyed leucistic, but I tell you, this is one beautiful, beautiful ball python. I tell you, Super Orange Dream makes a lot of genes better. Beautiful snake.
Then there was a third Repticon I went to. An amazing time to show off some more cool skinks, some Burmese pythons, another scaleless corn snake, scaleless orchid T-corn that I loved.
First animal that immediately caught my eye when I came in is this caiman lizard. These are part of the tegu family. These guys, caiman lizards, because of their back plates here, they kind of remind you of a crocodile or a caiman, which is native to Central America. These guys are great, more intermediate animals, I'd say, or maybe even advanced.
Yep.
Because they need like an 8-foot cage, 8-foot long cage, 4-foot at least minimum. And you want to have a place where they can swim, and they're kind of like a velociraptor when they dive into the water. The guys will eat. These guys are primarily snail eaters, so you got to make sure you have a good source of snails. Would make really good for advanced keepers. So these guys are beautiful. Let's hope we can fight this tegu ban in Florida too, because these might also get an attitude, but he is so damn beautiful. The first snake I'm going to show you is this beautiful Champagne Paradox ball python. Now the Paradox gene, unfortunately, is not genetic. The Champagne gene is a co-dominant snake, but the Super Champagne is lethal, so oftentimes, there's never been a Super Champagne that's lived, at least. That could change, you never know. This was proven out in Ghana, believe it or not. But I like the Champagne when it mixes well with other genes, stuff like especially the Pied, when it's mixed with Pied. I love Champagnes. You know, when you breed other animals to it too, a lot of times the pattern would go away. But so like I said, when it mixed with a Pied or mixed with a Pied, let's say maybe Sunset or something.
But very well.
Maybe not Sunset, but oftentimes the pattern will just fade. But I still love seeing Champagne ball pythons everywhere I go. This happens to be a green anaconda. I don't know what her name is. This is actually the heaviest snake on the planet. This largest snake, well, girth-wise, the longest snake is the reticulated python of Southeast Asia. These guys are from the Llanos. I remember being as a kid, I used to love watching Jesus Rivas, I remember Austin Stevens did one of these. Believe it or not, these have been classified as man-eaters, and they are far from this. Look at this guy, look at how he's just holding it like this. These guys are not man-eaters, they're not vicious, but these are not snakes for little Johnny by any means. I like the way these guys dodge. They're so agile in the water. These guys could eat something the size of a capybara. They would even eat maybe deer. These guys are even known to be cannibalistic, believe it or not. So I love seeing green anacondas. Now, believe it or not, Ben Rennick had an T-positive albino green anaconda, and he has the only double-hit caramel snows, which I think is really cool. And I love seeing green anacondas everywhere I go. But the truth is, they are not man-eaters. They're beautiful animals. You see I'm putting it right here. But I know, so every time you see a big snake, it's not a green anaconda, and green anacondas do not deserve a bad reputation, as you can see with this one. This happens to be an Argentine Tego. This is a hybrid between a black and white, and what's the other one?
Red.
Red, a hybrid between an Argentine red Tegu and an Argentine black and white Tegu. Now, another reason I want to show you guys these Tegus is because, as you know, Florida is doing everything they can to outlaw Tegus. Tegus are not, well, I'm not saying that for everyone, but the truth is, they're trying to take chunks out of the reptile hobby in Florida. They're trying to ban all reptiles because these, yes, they are invasive, but the truth is they're not being that destructive. They're over-exaggerating. I'm not saying they belong there, but the truth is that we are trying to band together to stop the ban of Florida tegus. Also in Alabama too, they're trying to outlaw. They're outlawed tegus in Alabama, so if you guys are in Alabama, you're not allowed to have these anymore. But you need to support USARK Florida. I'm going to put a link in the description for USARK Florida for all of us to fight this ban. So let's hope we can keep these animals for future generations, because I love them. They are great, great, great animals. I love this monkey. This is a scaleless Okatee corn snake. The Okatee is a locality of corn snake that's found in North Carolina, I think. Either North Carolina or South Carolina, I'm not 100% sure. But the scaleless gene is a simple recessive. It's kind of like human skin almost. Now, another reason I always want to show off scaleless snakes is because they get so much hate. I remember showing someone a scaleless ball python, and they say, I want to buy that snake and put it out of its misery. And if you guys think that way, I want to ask you, what gives you the right to decide if an animal is suffering? As you can see, this little monkey is curious. He's slithering around. He's inquisitive. They eat well. Only downside is you have to be very careful about feeding live rats because they don't have the scales. So, and also a little bit more care, but I just love seeing scaleless snakes. I tell you, this is a beautiful scaleless Okatee corn snake. Let's see what other snakes we can see here. This beautiful expo. This happens to be a Florida garter snake, eastern garter snake that's native to Florida. As you can see, garter snake is one of the most polymorphic snakes, I should say, on the planet. Because you get the eastern garter snakes would look blue when you go to Florida. They look another color when you go to Toronto, Canada. They would look a bunch of different colors. So these guys, the garter snakes are great. And they say you guys are looking for a pet snake, but you don't want to feed rodents. You know, you can feed a garter snake. You can avoid the rodent diet. You can feed it fish, worms. You gotta use calcium powder though all the time. But you do not want to feed goldfish, however. So this is a great snake. Again, you don't want to feed rodents. Garter snakes could be for you, but you just got to be careful what kind of fish. So if you guys are looking for garter snake, make sure you reach out to a lot of people. This is a beautiful, beautiful snake. Let's have a look at this chunky monkey. This is a mata mata turtle. Mata mata is Spanish for spick turtle. These guys blend so well into the leaves down below, and their bite is like snap is quick. These guys will eat fish primarily. It's one of the fastest striking turtles on the planet. These guys give a mean bite. These are not for beginners, not for everyone. You gotta have a big pond, but I love seeing these animals here. I love seeing mata mata turtles. That was an albino recently discovered. I can't wait to get my hands on it, even though it's going to be pretty expensive, but I think it's going to be worth it. I'm looking at how well this thing is blended. If you guys ever swam in the Amazon, you would never find these guys. This is a really... Thank you. This is what a normal northern bearded dragon, northern blue-tongued skink would look like. As you can see here, check out how she's turning around. Look how beautiful they are. You know, again, their defense mechanism is to stick their tongues out as a defense mechanism, which is, I think that's what's inspired the Maoris to do that. They're from the same area, I think. But the thing I like about blue-tongued skink is they are the next generation, the next big thing in the reptile industry, as Brian Barczyk would say. We'll have another. This is a gene I've never even heard of. This is the black razor. This is the regular razor. This is the black razor. The razor is a co-dominant trait where you get super razors, but this is a black pastel razor, or a black razor. The black pastel and razor are allelic together. So oftentimes when you breed something like a bumblebee, which is a pastel spider, to a normal, you get 25% pastels, 25% bumblebees, 25% spiders, and 25% normals. But when you breed a black razor to a normal, you get 50% black pastels and 50% razors. But if you breed a black razor to a black razor, it's kind of sketchy, you get super razors, super black pastels, and black razors. There's no super black razor. This is a new gene that I've never even heard of, and it is not disappointing. This is an axanthic green iguana. It's a kind of bluish color. See how beautiful it is? Green iguanas are not for everyone. Therefore, you want to have a really high ceiling. Like, I've seen fantastic iguanas enclosures, but people have that at a lot of money. But the thing is, the axanthic is recessive. This is really cool. Now, another thing I want to tell you guys is Florida is still trying to ban. It's just banned iguanas and banned tegus. This is the other part of. I showed you tegus earlier. I want to show you guys the link for USARK Florida down in the description. Make sure you join, because if you guys live in Florida, you won't be able to enjoy such beautiful animals like this. I love the green iguanas. Again, not for everyone. I need to be a little bit more experienced, and I love seeing the blue iguana. And then I went to Jacksonville, Florida. The first step was Floating Sea Aquatics, which is like a cafe. That's part of Reptile Store. You can get some really good Alfredo pasta from them, which was delicious. Let's have a look at the animals we saw there.
So this is our 4,000-gallon freshwater pond.
Freshwater.
So we're able to rescue the much larger fish here. So you've got your large koi, Now, this is not something we would recommend doing at home, right? Which is combining your koi fish with your cichlids. And then there's combining the cichlids in here, right? Because we do have African peacocks in here, umbunas, but at the same time, I've got your South American Oscars. I've got a wolf cichlid, which is also known as the dovi. I've got some pacu. So the pacu that I have here are going to outgrow this pond. Even being 4,000 gallons, it's not the gallons of water, it's actually the height of the water. Those will get roughly about, what, like 18 inches, 24 inches in diameter. So we are going to be working with the local Jacksonville Zoo to donate them to the Jacksonville Zoo whenever they've outgrown this pond.
That's nice. I look at that koi here. A lot of times, these are bred in Japan, believe it or not. It's bred for specific colors and patterns. That they would outlive a human. The oldest koi on record is, I've heard, 250 years old, which is, I think, is insane for a fish. Believe it or not, some koi can sell for up to $50,000, maybe even more. I think I've heard rumors of them being $1 million, which is insane. I mean, you got your kids' college fund, you got one fish, but I think koi are really cool animals. If you have the space for them, they make really good displays. But you got to find somebody who's going to take care, because it's going to outlive you.
This pond here is obviously the saltwater pond, right? So this is, again, 4,000 gallon saltwater pond. In here, this is a little bit of my favorite display here.
Oh yeah.
So this cute little guy right here, this is E.T. He is our porcupine puffer. Right now he's not giving me any mind, but usually he'll be right up at the water, spitting water in my face.
I've seen puffers.
Because of the temperature, it is cooler in here right now. Right now the building is about 68 degrees. The water's pretty low. The fish are kind of dormant. Usually my fish are swimming all over. They'll come right up to the surface because they think I'm going to feed at all times. Wow. But everyone right now is very relaxed because of the cold water.
For all you Finding Nemo fans, porcupine puffer was below in the aquarium and it's in the dentist's office, I remember. Puffers.
Volcano!
Did I hear that? But these guys would often insert water to make themselves look bigger, and these guys have personality. I've heard stories of puffers bringing balls to their owners, which I think is really cool. So, but they're not, again, not for everyone. I wouldn't say they're for beginner fish keepers, but I'd say if you have the space for them, you have the experience. We've got Dory over there.
I've actually got 2 sharks in here as well.
Ooh, wow.
So I have a bamboo shark that's hiding in the rocks, as well as an epaulette shark. The epaulette shark is a little bit more uncommon in the trade, but it's a very beautiful.
It is beautiful.
3.5, 4 foot long spotted shark.
The epaulette shark is actually able to walk on water. I don't know if you guys are big, because I don't know about you, but I'm a big tanked fan. I remember they did put epaulette sharks in Antonio Brown's tanks, which I think is pretty cool.
Bearded dragons.
Have a look at these guys. Look at a chunky monkey there.
So that's our big girl right there, and her male is down over here. Actually, I'm sorry. That is the male, that is the female. I mistaken him because usually his beard is much darker. He's usually flared up. But they're a breeding pair, which is why I have the dig box right over there for her to start laying her eggs. She is gravid at the moment.
Wow. Bearded dragons are the #1 pet lizard in the world. In fact, I think these are the 3rd best, most popular pet. Moms like bearded dragons because they encourage kids to eat their salad, but they're easy to keep, really placid, but they're beautiful. I just wish Australia would allow people to, I was here in America, to import their albinos and whatever stuff they have, because they are just so fantastic.
So here we have Cowboy. He is a rescue ball python that we received, I think, on the 2nd month of actually us being open. So Cowboy is one of the largest
Big he is.
male, he's actually let me rephrase that, the largest male ball python I have ever seen personally. Usually your male ball pythons, they don't exceed, 3.5?
Nope.
Maybe pushing 4 feet, maybe?
Yeah, barely. I mean,
He's over 4 feet, pushing 5.
Is he just normal ball python?
He is a normal ball python. Now, I've recently heard that there is a gene of ball python that is known to grow larger than the others.
The Volta, which is like
Volta,
the Benin area.
So I believe he may have some Volta in him, but I've never personally seen a Volta. I don't know if there's a pattern difference in them or anything like that, but he is a proven male. Like I said, he's over 4 feet long. He's phenomenal.
He's beautiful.
Very, very tame.
You guys remember when I was in South Africa with my friend DJ Van Wyck? He had a huge ball python. When I first saw it, it looked like, I thought it was an African rock python. Again, the ball python is the #1 pet snake because they're docile. They don't move too much. So corn snake can be a bit squirmy, but a ball python is the way to go if you're looking for a first-time snake owners. So here in Florida, they want to ban ball pythons because they're worried that they'll be an invasive species.
They already are. So there are breeding populations of ball pythons here in Florida. They are not massive. It's not a danger, you know, to the communities, say like the Burmese pythons. So they have not prohibited them, but the state of Florida is not a place for your reptile keeping anymore, to be honest with you. In the next, as the years go by, these rules are getting more intense for your reptiles. So these two critters right here are our Asian water monitors. So this is one of the smartest species of lizards in the world, right? They are able to differentiate their owners simply by their voice.
Look at that's incredible. Look, I'm looking at him just thinking right now. You guys know Kevin McCurley over at Nerd breeds water monitors for all. He's got albinos, the sulfurs, the black dragons. The Asian water monitors, believe it or not, are so smart. They can learn their names. They can learn. You can have them do tricks like a dolphin. I remember Brian Barczyk's video when he was at Prehistoric Pets. The dolphin, I thought it was like a little dolphin almost. But they are so cool. They're beautiful. Like, however, they are not for everyone. They're for really advanced keepers, or what I would call accomplished keepers, for people who are 21 and older. You got to have a big space. You got to have. They need a lot of water. But the benefit of that is they do their business in the water. So if you just have a good water filtration system, they wouldn't be an issue. But you got to put into a lot of work into them. They got to gain your trust, just like this gained Will's trust here.
Absolutely.
They are beautiful animals. Again, not for everyone, but if you have the space. But he's a beautiful, beautiful
So you
lizard.
can actually see, this is what I love about these, you can see that third eye, right? Their pineal eye. A lot of lizards, that eye is kind of hidden, but if you look at the top of this lizard's head, you can see that bright green dot. So that is a third eye that lizards have. Your bearded dragon at home usually has a pretty dominant one that you can see as well. Now obviously that eye doesn't see like the other eyes. It doesn't see color, movements, or all that. It actually sees lights and shadows. So say your monitor, your bearded dragon, is out there in their environment basking in that sun, and this big massive hawk, this predator, comes up above, blocks the sunlight. That eye is going to alert the brain that something has covered the sun, something is above his body, and they'll know to automatically dart off. So very cool thing.
Very beautiful. Dave Kaufman recently did a video about how we keep water monitors in Thailand when he went to Thailand. So we got to check out that video. I'll put a link for that video in the description.
Retail section. Those animals over there were rescues, but these are all that we have open for the public. I also use these animals for our educational shows that we host on the weekends. I host adult Face Your Fear parties with some of these. Like, these are my new Goliath bird-eating tarantulas. They're both hiding right. Hold on, let me see if I can't get one showing.
That'd be great.
I recently on my TikTok was just handling these little guys, which is not very recommended. They can be quite aggressive, but look at that big, beautiful guy right there. So this is still growing.
Yeah, these guys would get huge. I mean, I've heard stories of spiders up the size of a palm.
Yes.
Bigger.
So roughly, on average, they can get 10 to 12 inches in diameter. So he is about halfway there. That's only a juvenile.
That's a beautiful. You know, guys, I'm a little bit scared of spiders and a little bit scared of scorpions, but I have held some of the past, and my fear is getting better. One of the things I always talk about is educate yourself. Will help you get over your fears, because these guys are not meaner, they're not mean, they're not out to hurt you. They're beautiful animals. So they, believe it or not, right now they're using scorpion venom in brain tumors. I think spiders is, I don't know what they're using spiders for, but some type of research. So this is a beautiful. They're beautiful in their own right. So there's nothing to be scared of. If I can get over my fear of spiders and stuff, maybe you guys can get over your fear of snakes. So what other
tarantulas? This is our emperor scorpion. Whoa. Our big female, right? So automatically she looks like she's going to be aggressive. She would want to sting me or something like that. But as you can see, she's not using that stinger on me. There's no point, okay? Ultimately speaking, there's no point. When you look at a scorpion, the main thing to look at is
pincer size.
Yep.
The bigger the pincers, the less venomous it is. These guys have such strong pincers. I think this is a great beginner scorpion, like, well, if you had experience with other invertebrates, but these guys, how big our pincers are, have a, like I said, scorpion venom, using it in brain tumor research, which I think is really cool. So if you guys ever interested in like a beginner scorpion and emperor scorpion, might be for you.
You want to know what I recently saw
What?
On these things that irks me out? So, when a tarantula feeds, it pulls the food in close to its mouth, and then the top of its head opens up, and two small pinchers come out of its head, like from Alien almost, right? And they hold the prey in place as he eats it. So usually when I do my shows, I ask the crowd, you can actually see the pinchers. He actually has them out right now. If you bring in you can see in his face, he's got 2 tiny little claws that are sticking out.
Wow.
So usually when I ask the crowd, how many pinchers does a scorpion have? Everyone answers 2. Wrong. They have 4. 2 exterior ones
2 interior.
and 2 interior ones.
That is so cool.
So whenever I handle, I hold it right here from the tail. As you can see, he's not trying to stab me. Again, there's no point. That venom is weak.
Even if you're allergic to bees?
If you are allergic to bees, it's not recommended, right?
Okay.
So, like any of the toxins, it all depends on the person for your reaction. Myself, I have been stung by the Florida bark scorpions on several occasions. I've been stung by wasps, honeybees, all different types of stuff. So I know that my body is not susceptible to that. But I always tell people in the crowd, if you know you're susceptible to any type of bee toxin, anything like that, be very cautious when handling bugs. Yeah. But for the rest of the stuff here, so this is our bug table. We have a local regal jumping spider breeder. So we have some very beautiful, healthy spiders that need new homes. Over here, you've got your spiny tail iguana, your sand boas. We have a lot of varieties. But everyone's favorite, buttercup.
Buttercup. Have a look at that beautiful Burmese.
So unfortunately her light is busted because she decided to climb and break the light yesterday. She is extremely strong. She is 13 feet long and 150 pounds of pure muscle. She is of course the albino Burmese python.
Yeah. You know, they really need to make exceptions. If they're worried about Burmese pythons being a bigger invasive species, allow people to keep albinos, because Buttercup is not going to survive in the wild. She doesn't have the melanin. You know, I love Burmese pythons. They're not for everyone though. They're definitely not a beginner snake. They're for advanced keepers only. If you have experience, start off with a ball python like we just showed. Work your way up, keep something like a blood python next, and then keep like a boa constrictor. Once you really have experience, then a Burmese python will be for you. It's for, and you gotta have a big space to be able to, whenever you handle them, you never want to handle them alone. You always want to make sure there's somebody on standby. But the truth is, I love seeing albino Burms.
Rescue turtle pond as well as our retail turtle pond. So in here in this tank right now, I have red-eared sliders, yellow-bellied turtle. I've got a baby little mat turtle. I've got, and somewhere hiding in the rocks, I have a couple of African side necks. Now here in Florida, in the state of Florida, that dude is illegal. He is a red-eared slider. The red-eared slider is one of the most invasive species in the world. It is found on every continent except for Antarctica.
Yeah.
They dominate every body of water through aggression, dominating the food source, interbreeding with the local species, so it's no longer a pure bloodline. And then the worst part is that they've been found to drown other turtles. Whoa. The larger ones will hold on to a smaller turtle's back underwater, keeping him from being able to come up for air, and then at that point, he's now king of the jungle.
Yeah, believe it or not, I actually saw a red-eared slider when I went to South Africa. They actually are invasive all around the world. That's why they've been banned in many countries, including Europe, and all over Asia, South America, and South Africa, and Australia. Well, you're not allowed to have any exotic reptiles in Australia, but this is pretty beautiful. They're beautiful in their own right, but they're not for everyone. You gotta have a big pond. But the truth is, they are really cool. So if you have the experience, it would be a great pet.
Chameleons right here.
Chameleons.
Rainbow Jacksons over here. Cool thing about the Rainbow Jacksons, so unlike the regular Jackson's chameleon, female Rainbow Jackson chameleons are known to have a singular horn protruding out of their heads like a unicorn. Wow. So they're known for that. Now it's not 100%. Not every single female comes out like that. Some females do come out with 3 horns, but they're just much smaller than your males. But that's what the Rainbow Jacksons are known for. And then over here, my personal favorite.
Ooh, have a look.
This is my big, beautiful red panther chameleon.
Panther chameleon, yeah.
The Abanja. This is, to be specific, this is called the Abanja panther chameleon. This is the big, beautiful male, and he has a couple females hanging out with him right here.
Yeah, believe it or not, panther chameleons are actually also invasive here in Florida. I think I know veiled chameleons are.
Yes, panther chameleons have been found here too.
Yeah, Florida's a mess. But chameleons really aren't the best handling animals, to be honest. They're really good display animals if you want to have it out in display. Some are accustomed to handling, but not always.
Yep.
But the truth is, you gotta have a screen cage so I can give it a breeze, and you have a dust and you have a dripper. like a water dripper, so because they drink dew, they don't go to a water bowl. But they're really for advanced keepers, and they really are a display animal, not something you can handle every day.
He loves showing off those colors.
Look how beautiful he is. Now, one of the biggest myths about chameleons is that they change color to blend in with their environments. They don't. They change color to absorb more heat, or just to try and camouflage, try and make themselves look like a leaf that's floating in the wind.
Yep. It's about 13 species of reptiles that are now considered prohibited. So only zoological or educational facilities like ourselves are able to possess them. I have a small Nile monitor over there. You probably won't be able to catch him on camera.
Yep, we have a Nile here.
I've got the red tegu in here. She's burrowing. It's that time of year. I've got my big boy Quill. He is our Nile monitor. I've got a Brazilian black and white tegu in here, right over there in the back right corner. And then Vladimir, our normal Burmese python.
Yeah. Yeah, you guys know when I lived in South Africa, I used to see Nile monitors a lot. I used to see wild Nile monitors. Hope to see one. Maybe I don't know if they would be up this far up north, but they're mostly South Florida. I mean, a lot of people think Nile monitors would eat their children, but they won't. They're good. They won't eat their children. I used to grow up around Nile monitors. I've never attacked by one. Tegus are now banned. We got to fight this ban. USARK Florida. I'll put a link in the description. We're going to fight this ban. And of course, we got the infamous Burmese python. Well, the infamous here. But no, believe it or not, South Africa is also banned. I was also concerned about them being an invasive species. So therefore, they've also banned the possession. If you want a Burmese python and you live in South Africa, you got to have a permit, and it needs to be microchipped. Which I doubt Burmese pythons will be an invasive species.
And then finally, we went to Extreme Exotics Wildlife Foundation. I got a chance to interact with some cool deer, some cool lemurs, cats. Almost got sprayed on, and of course some nice dogs.
Toby is this one right up here. He's our male.
Hey, Toby.
He's pretty friendly. So lemurs are only from Madagascar. It's the only place you'll ever find them native. They are critically endangered, but well established in facilities. These guys are super important because they're proven breeders. So give us about 3 babies every year.
Oh, that's adorable.
Yep. So they are considered lesser primates. They're still in the primate family.
They're prosimians, is that correct?
That I don't know. We call them lesser primates.
Okay,
here.
lesser primates.
Most people don't like do the scientific names.
How soft they are.
Yep.
They're cute. These were made popular by the movie Madagascar.
Yes.
I don't think this particular species was not King Julian, the ringtail.
Nope. Nope.
There's a difference. They have Mort, who was I forgot what he was.
Mort was a ringtail, I think.
No.
What
was the baby?
Oh, I don't know. It's been a while since I've seen Madagascar. Probably the brown ruff, the brown lemurs, the common browns. Yeah. So they're in the primate family, so they've got fingernails just like we do, nail beds just like we do, and individual fingerprints. And then they have the alert noise, which Toby kind of started doing right there. They have the highest decibel voice out of any lemur in the animal kingdom.
This is so
they are incredibly loud when they get revved up. Look at him. She's gonna jump right to you. There you go.
Look at that jump.
So as you can see, they're very, very athletic. They can jump about 25 feet. And I always tell people while they're very cute and very soft, they're also incredibly dangerous.
Yep.
So you can see her nails right there are incredibly sharp. They're that perfect stiletto. And then their teeth are serrated. They look like steak knives. Yeah. So not only will they bite you, they will slice you as well.
These are not the best pets.
Not the best pets. 0 out of 10 recommend for best pets. So,
or pets at all.
They're a lot, yeah, no. They're a lot of fun to watch though. And then the main threats as far as them being critically endangered are going to be us as humans. So slash and burn, deforestation, habitat destruction, and then food loss as well. So they're a lot of fun to watch. They normally pretty active like in the morning and at night, but they do get cruising around whenever it's nice outside. So
wow, their diet's mostly
fruit. Yep. So we do a lot of fruits and vegetables for them. We get all of our produce donated to us from Publix 210 and Publix Beach Walk, which is right up the street from us. So we go through and hand chop everything for them, and then we'll give them lots of different things to choose from. So they pretty much graze all day.
Wow.
Yeah, you get those opposable thumbs on the back feet as well as on their front feet, so they use those to climb around and swing through the trees.
That is so cool.
So you can see how long her canines are. Lemurs are also a matriarchal species, which means mom's in charge. So she definitely rules the roost. She definitely keeps Toby in line. He can be a little bit mischievous every now and then. So He's a lot of fun.
They look so cool.
Yeah, they're really cool. Here, there's Simba and Muffins. Let's see, they might be in their hideout.
there
They are.
They're looking
All right.
Look at him.
That one right there is Simba. He's got the gold face. Your males are going to have the gold face. The females are going to have the darker face. So while Toby and Cheeky give us 3 babies every year, and she comes back and takes care of our babies, these guys give us about 1 baby a year. So that baby will hold on to mom. So she'll hold on to her fur, and then while she's bouncing all over her enclosure and all through the rainforest, or all through Madagascar and, you know, specific areas where they live, she kind of holds on to mom until she's weaned. So you can see his incisors are very long, very sharp.
Kind of like a saber tooth.
Kind of like a saber tooth, yep. And these guys are also what they call sexually dimorphic.
Oh.
So what that means is when they have a baby and it's a girl, it's going to look just like mom. And if it's a boy, it looks just like dad. So it's pretty easy for us to tell what we have right off the bat. So, but like I said, your males are most commonly going to have that gold face. And then the females will have the darker face. So they don't make the alert noise like your rough lemurs do. They make a grunting noise kind of like a pig. And they make a purring noise whenever they get excited. So. And he is very, very protective over his mate. So if she comes up here, he'll probably cover her up just so you can't look at her.
Wow.
Marmoset, they come from the coastal forest of eastern Brazil, and he is a true primate, it's a true monkey.
Yep.
This is another animal that I definitely do not recommend as a pet. Marmosets are normally incredibly aggressive. Rafiki is not aggressive. He can be a little bit territorial, but he's not aggressive.
Yeah. I remember I saw these in the movie Rio. They were trying to, these guys are so smart, they would try, these guys, I heard rumors that they've been known to pickpocket sometimes.
Yes. Yeah, and the macaques do that, or not the macaques, I think the capuchins do that as well. So he's got really, really sharp nails. They are exclusively arboreal species, so he likes to stay up high. But he uses those nails to grip onto the tree trunks whenever he bounces from branch to branch.
That is so.
And then his bottom teeth are shaped like chisels, so he'll chew through the tree trunks to pull out the sap. And they are very sharp. But like I said, monkeys do not make good pets. Primates in general do not make good pets.
Yeah.
They also have a very distinct odor about them as well. So like when he likes to ride around on my shoulder, he smells like body odor.
Wow.
So and then as a result, my shirt smells like body odor.
Have you guys heard that these monkeys just don't make good pets?
Yeah.
I mean, even though I remember my neighbor in South Africa had I think it was a marmoset. They're really just not the best. They really aren't the best pet. They're so damn cute, but oftentimes they stink.
Really
they can be aggressive.
Yep.
They have sharp claws and they can really dig into you and they can do really damage. And don't forget the rabies possibility.
Yep. Yeah.
So, but he's
got these little. You can see how sharp his nails are.
That is so cool.
They are natural snowshoes. So they spread out whenever he walks, and then they are also very large to help take down very large prey as well. Look a lot like a bobcat, definitely more intense than a bobcat.
Yeah, I can tell these guys are more. So these are Eurasian lynx. This is the a lot of people say this is the origin of the domestic house cat. But have a look at those paws. Those things could.
So they have the fully retractable claws as well. And then he's got those tufts on top of his ears that help funnel noise down into his ears so he can hear his prey. This is his mate right up here. I call her Beth Dutton. Her name is Linda. But she is pretty new to us. So she is a little bit older than Ranger, and we're hoping that eventually they will form a bond because lynx actually mate for life.
So it's like a wolf. These guys would eat rabbits and.
Yeah, they're pretty opportunistic hunters. But Ranger's my boy. I love him.
Oh, wow.
He's a sweet baby. He's also fully litter box trained as well, which is pretty
cool.
cool. Yeah. So he's a big old baby. And he's got those eye spots on the back of his ears, which is pretty common in a lot of your big cats or bigger cats, but even common in some of your smaller cats as well. Your Joffrey's cats have them also. So basically what that is a defense mechanism. So if they're looking forward at something and something tries to come up behind them and attack, the other animal will think that it's eyes looking back at them, so they won't attack them from behind. The tigers will.
So these guys will be found in Russia.
Right.
Would it be any parts of Siberia?
Yeah, so they also call them the Siberian lynx as well. So yeah,
these are
I'm pretty sure. But your tigers have those eye spots as well.
I was told that when I was younger that those spots could help them see in the dark. It's like help them How the eyes glow in the dark.
Oh yeah, I don't know about that. I know that whenever the light reflects them though, you can see every single one of these guys' eyes in the light, so.
This is so cool. These are bobcats, Lynx rufus. This is a smaller member of they're smaller than the Canadian lynx. You guys hunt mostly at dawn, at dusk.
Alright, so Chomper down here is our southern bobcat, and then Buttercup over here is a northern bobcat. So these guys are native all over North America, for the majority of North America, all the way up into Canada. They are known to be one of the most aggressive members of the lynx family. Chomper, his personality, he's not aggressive, but again, it's not the norm. We just got lucky with him. He's got those same eye spots just like Ranger and his girlfriend do, and he is thick. He's packing on that winter weight. So these guys can run up to 30 miles an hour.
Wow.
And they're incredible climbers as well, and they're also very, very voracious hunters. So they normally eat small prey, so possums, squirrels, chickens, rabbits, things like that. But the males have been known to take down prey as large as a full-size deer. So very incredible hunters. She looks, I always tell people, she looks more like a lynx to me, whereas Chomper looks like a true blue bobcat, but she has more similarities to those guys over there. So Chomper's very sweet. You can reach through and pet him. Obviously, you know, if he turns his butt to you, just move to the side because he'll try to spray you. So just watch yourself. Yep. He sprays on pretty much everyone. Male big cats have a pretty impressive range. African spotted meerkat, or African spotted genet, sorry, but you can see her tail is wrapped around her, so they have very, very long tails. They are primarily arboreal, but they will hide like in like logs and things during the day because they are nocturnal. So she has semi-retractable claws, very, very sharp teeth. And then their ears have blood vessels that help keep them cool. They kind of look like if you crossed a Bengal with a ferret. They kind of play the same way. And they have a very distinct odor, so not a good pet. They kind of smell like Fritos. And they require a Class 3 permit in Florida. So definitely an animal you'll want to keep inside. So, but she's a lot of fun. This is the OG. OG. So they are also threatened. They're spotted. They look like little leopards. So they're hunted for their coats, and then habitat destruction as well. Midori is very, very sweet. They're also pretty rare to see in facilities as well. Only about 40 facilities in the country have these guys. Hi. They're pretty elusive. Kind of like to stay to themselves. I always tell people she looks like the real life Puss in Boots. What's she doing? And then she is a carnivore, so she'll do the raw meat. She likes hopper mice, and then in the wild they'll eat, you know, amphibians and small reptiles.
Wow. Hey, kitty.
And there's heat pads and blankets in all of these houses, which is why most of these guys are in their houses.
Yeah.
Here.
The king cobras, the longest venomous snake in the world.
Yep, so these guys are both 14 feet long. This is King James, this one down here is red. Also, I believe the most intelligent of the snakes.
Yes, most intelligent.
They definitely give you, that's a screaming hairy armadillo, but they're up right now. They definitely, I always tell people, give you plenty of warning before they come after you. So they will puff themselves up, they will stand up, and they hood up, and they bluff strike, and then they'll strike, so.
Bingo Dunkelman in South Africa loves his king cobras. I can remember watching him. I think I heard recently they were using king cobra venom and pain medication. I think it's pretty cool. But these guys, their scientific name Ophiophagus hanna. Ophiophagus means snake eater, I think, in Latin. Because I love watching those videos. But I love king cobras. Again, very smart snakes. Love to eat other snakes. Occasionally eat monitors, but mostly. Do you feed them snakes?
We feed them snakes.
Okay.
Yep. So they're king snake, which means that they eat other snake, which is where that scientific name comes from. So, we have a Gila monster. You can see right over here.
One of the few. Most people don't think of venomous. They don't think of lizards, but there are two venomous species: the beaded lizard and the Gila monster. In fact, these do quite well in captivity. You get two species of Gila monster. You get the banded. This is the reticulated phase. These guys would probably make an ideal pet for little Johnny if they weren't venomous, because they eat rodents mostly, occasionally eat eggs. Believe it or not, they use both Gila monster venom and beaded lizard venom in diabetes research, which I think is cool. So I love, again, cool animals, would make ideal pets. if they weren't venomous.
From South and Central America. So she's still pretty young. All of these feathers are going to be her baby feathers, and you can see her adult ones are coming in. And her head will turn dark as well. So she's got yellow eyes, which means she hunts during the day. And then they're not a huge flying owl. So your Eurasians, are a lot of times they use them for flight training. These guys not so much. They like to just perch. So all of your other birds, like your macaws, your parakeets, things like that, they'll have what they call a preening gland, which helps make them waterproof so they can fly in the rain. And she's so cute. And your owls don't have that, so they don't fly in the rain. Wow. So what they'll do is they'll just find somewhere to burrow down in. So she'll get about 6 feet or 2 feet tall. She'll only weigh about 2 pounds whenever she's full grown.
Wow. Okay, so here we got another caiman. This is a broad-scattered caiman, which is the second smallest species of crocodilian. Kevin over at Nerd breeds caimans indoors, and he's got a this amazing way to socialize them. So if you have the experience, you want a caiman, reach out to Kevin over at Nerd first. But first, make sure you check your local laws, because in some places they are illegal, but they are cool. If you have the space, you have the time, you can put in work into them. They can make great pets for advanced keepers who have a lot of experience with other reptiles. I'm not saying keep a corn snake for that time, but then keep a corn snake, keep like a boa constrictor, then a blood python. But as you gradually get experience, these can be wonderful additions, but they're really cool. So now I'm going to Repticon on Saturday, my first vlog of the year. It's my dad's birthday then. So gonna be going there, filming some cool animals, see what we can see. So thanks a lot for watching. Have an amazing night. God may the Lord bless you, keep you, lift his face and shine upon you. Have an amazing night. God bless.